Today we are going to see about next model, that is one compartment open model by IV infusion. What is intravenous infusion? Rapid IV injection is unsuitable when the drug has potential to precipitate toxicity or when maintenance of stable concentration or amount of drug in the body is desired. In such a situation, the drug, for example, several antibiotics, theophylline, procainamide, are administered at a constant rate, that is zero order, by IV infusion. So, from safe point of view, some of the drugs are mainly administered in the form of IV infusion. Okay, IV infusion means you can see into the images. Okay, throughout the saline solution, drug can be administered or a small solution may be there, and at constant rate, drop by drop, the drug goes into the systemic circulation. And the main aim behind this is that the concentration or amount of drug is maintained mainly constant, and that is called as steady state concentration. And during this, and the maintenance of this steady state concentration is possible by administering the drug in the form of IV infusion. Okay, there are some of the drugs which, when administered by direct IV injection, then these kind of drugs may precipitate toxicity. Okay, and due to these difficulties in case of administration of the drugs by IV injection, these kind of drugs can be administered in the form of IV infusion. Okay, so this constant we can say constant infusion is mainly that mainly follows zero order kinetics. In contrast to the short duration of infusion of an IV bolus, few seconds, the duration of constant rate infusion is usually much longer than half-life of the drug. Okay, we have to administer the drug at a controlled rate because the main aim is to maintain the steady state concentration, and in that case drug is administered for longer time, and that time is or may be greater than half-life of the drug. The advantages of zero order infusion of drugs include ease of control of rate of infusion to fit individual patient needs. Okay, with the help of that meter has been given onto the saline solution. With the help of that, we can control the rate of infusion according to the individual patient. Okay, the speed of infusion may be controlled. Okay, then it prevents fluctuating maxima and minima plasma levels, desired especially when the drug has a narrow therapeutic index. Okay, the drugs which are having narrow therapeutic index, for example theophylline, phenytoin, and many more, these kind of drugs can also be administered in the form of IV infusion. Okay, and it mainly prevents the maximum plasma drug concentration and sudden minimum plasma drug concentration. So this kind of fluctuation can be avoided by IV infusion. Then other drugs, electrolytes, and nutrients can be conveniently administered simultaneously by same infusion line in critically ill patients. If there is critically ill patient, then in that case the electrolytes are essential, nutrients are mainly may not be available. So in that case, these kind of electrolytes as well as nutrients as well as other drugs could be administered simultaneously with the drug. Okay, so likewise these are the advantages of zero order IV infusion. Then the model for this kind of administration can be represented as like this. You can see into the image. Drug is administered at zero order infusion rate, and this process is denoted by R0. Okay, where 0 stands for zero order process and R stands for constant rate, that is rate of infusion mainly. Okay, so R0 is zero order infusion rate. Then there is compartment, that is blood and other body tissues, and KE, which is elimination rate constant. Okay, so in this particular model, two kind of constants are mainly there. There are mainly two kinds of constants are involved. First one is R0, that is zero order infusion rate, and second one is Ke, that is elimination rate constant. In first model we saw there is only one rate constant, that is only K, elimination rate constant. But in case of this model, there are two kinds of constants, that is zero order infusion rate as well as elimination rate constant. Okay, so in this way the model is mainly depicted, and from this we can have the mathematical formula and we can determine pharmacokinetic parameters. Plasma concentration time profile for a drug given by constant rate IV infusion. You can see into the graph. So the graph mainly plotted between plasma drug concentration versus time. Okay, there are two R0, that is R0 as well as 2R0. Okay, these two curves indicate or represent same drug. Okay, 2R0 means the infusion rate is doubled and R0 means infusion rate is normal. Okay, so at the start of infusion the amount of drug in the body is 0. Okay, and hence there is no elimination. So as the time passes the amount of drug in the body rises gradually. Okay, so in that case elimination rate less than the rate of infusion until a point after which rate of elimination equals the rate of infusion, that is the concentration of drug in plasma approaches constant value, and that is called as steady state concentration or plateau concentration. You can see into this image, into the figure. Okay, so there are two curves. One curve is for normal infusion rate, another curve is for double infusion rate. See, when the rate of infusion is further increased twice, what is happening? You can see the steady state concentration is not being maintained. Okay, but when we keep the optimum speed, optimum rate of infusion, then in that case we can see that initially there is no drug into the body and there is zero amount of drug into the body, and that's why there is no elimination. Okay, but as the concentration of drug into the body increases, what happens? Some amount of drug is also eliminated. So in that case the concentration of the drug mainly remains constant. Okay, means plasma drug concentration as well as the rate of elimination mainly remains, they are mainly same, and that's why the constant concentration of drug into the plasma is mainly reached, and that concentration is called as steady state concentration. Okay, so maintenance of this steady state concentration is particularly important in case of IV infusion, and that is the main aim of IV infusion. Okay, and but when the infusion is stopped, what will happen? The drug concentration will decline. Okay, and when graph is plotted between the concentration versus time, we will get the straight line, and from the slope of the line we can determine elimination rate constant, that we will see afterwards. Okay, but this is the effect of rate of infusion onto the steady state concentration of the drug. Then which mathematical equation is particularly there for this kind of model? The equation is log CSS minus C upon CSS is equal to minus KET upon 2.303. This is the differential equation, or this is the mathematical equation for this model. From this equation we can determine various pharmacokinetic parameters. Okay, in previous model also we saw there was the equation, that is log of C is equal to log C0 minus KET upon 2.303. Okay, the graph is plotted between log of C0 versus time, straight line is obtained, elimination rate constant is determined from the slope. So same is here, only the equation is different here in this case. Log CSS minus C upon CSS is taken onto the y-axis and time onto the x-axis. Here CSS represents steady state concentration. Okay, so after plotting, after making the graph between these two parameters, that is log of CSS minus C upon y-axis, time upon x-axis, we will get the straight line. From the slope elimination rate constant is determined. Okay, so this is a useful equation, and from this we can determine one of the useful pharmacokinetic parameter related with elimination phase. Okay, so in this model also there is no step of absorption. Okay, and that's why the absorption parameters are neglected into the calculation. Okay, we have two phases, distribution as well as elimination phase, but as the pharmacokinetic behavior of the drug mainly depends upon elimination. Okay, that's why the elimination phase is particularly important. Okay, so one of the elimination phase parameter is elimination rate constant, and that can be determined from this graph. Then the next concept regarding this IV infusion is infusion plus loading dose. As the name suggests, the infusion is started, but as the infusion starts, what happens? If drug is having very longer half-life, then it will eliminate very slowly from our body. Okay, it is essential for steady state concentration that as the drug enters into the body, it should be eliminated slowly immediately from the body, so that the maintenance of steady state concentration will be there. Okay, are you getting my point? If drug is administered, initially there is zero amount into the body, but as the time increases, as the concentration of drug increases into the body, what happens? Some amount of drug is also being eliminated from our body. Okay, so likewise the steady state concentration is achieved, but for which kind of drugs? For those drugs which are having smaller half-life. But if the half-life of the drugs is longer, then what will happen? It will take too much time for the drug to eliminate from the body. Okay, and that's why maintenance of stable concentration or maintenance of steady state concentration is difficult for such kind of drugs. Okay, for example, phenobarbital, which has half-life of 5 days. Okay, so after 5 days, it may be possible that phenobarbital will show the steady state concentration, but it is of no use. Okay, because it will not show its therapeutic action. It may be into the subtherapeutic level, and at subtherapeutic concentration, drug may be unable to show the effective, we can say, therapeutic action. Okay, and it is not possible. So in that case, loading dose of the drug is administered first as rapid IV injection. Okay, so I will read this. If it takes very long time for the drugs having longer half-lives before steady state is reached, for example, phenobarbital 5 days. Thus, initially, such drugs have subtherapeutic concentration, and this concentration is not effective. So, this can be overcome by administering an IV loading dose large enough to yield the desired steady state immediately upon injection prior to starting the infusion. It should then be immediately followed immediately by IV infusion at a rate enough to maintain this concentration. Okay, so firstly, loading dose of the drug is administered by rapid IV injection. So after administration of this loading dose, what will happen? The drug will reach, you can see into this from the graph, your understanding will be clear. At the start of infusion, what happens? There is zero amount of drug into the body, but if the drug is having very longer half-life, then elimination will be too slower, and that's why maintenance of constant plasma level is difficult. But when the loading dose is administered, what will happen? The amount of drug into the body will be higher. You can see upper line. When loading dose is administered, the amount of drug into the body will be higher, because entire amount of drug is mainly administered. Okay, and that's why the higher plasma concentration will be there. Okay, and after loading dose, we have to immediately start the infusion of the same drug. Okay, so what will happen? Initially, at the start of infusion, there will be no drug, but before that we have administered already the loading dose. Drug is already there into our body. After that, drug will eliminate from the body, and as the as there is rise in infused drug, there is also maintenance of steady state plasma drug concentration, that is resultant constant plasma level. Okay, and after some of the time there is exponential fall of loading dose. Okay, so likewise loading dose is particularly administered for the drugs which are having longer half lives. Then which pharmacokinetic parameters are determined from this model? So there are 4 pharmacokinetic parameters which are obtained from the model. The parameters are related with elimination phase as well as distribution. The parameters related with elimination are elimination rate constant, Ke, and elimination half-life, that is T half. Both of these parameters can be determined from the graph that we have already seen. From this graph, that is, the graph is plotted between log CSS minus C upon CSS versus time. A straight line is obtained with y-intercept, and from the slope we can determine Ke also. Then you will see how T half can be determined from the graph. In previous lecture we have seen that the difference between T1 and T2, you can have the times onto the x-axis. Okay, so T1 minus T2, T2 minus T1 or T4 minus T3 will give us that kind of difference. That difference will give us the value of half-life. Okay, so likewise these 2 parameters are determined from the graph. Then next parameter is apparent volume of distribution. Okay, and clearance, which is also related with elimination phase. Okay, apparent volume of distribution represents the process of distribution, while clearance represents the elimination phase. So both of these parameters are mainly calculated from the equation which you are seeing onto the slide. The equation is CSS, that is steady state concentration, is equal to R0 upon Ke into Vd is equal to R0 upon CLT. R0 represents constant rate of infusion. Okay, infusion rate constant, which is 0 order rate constant. Then Ke, that is elimination rate constant, that is mainly obtained from the graph. Volume of distribution. Okay, so we already have the 3 values, that is CSS, steady state concentration, we can easily measure from plasma drug concentration. R0, that can also be measured during or at the start of infusion. Ke is readily obtained from the graph. Vd can be determined. Then R0 upon CLT, that is clearance. Okay, so likewise by using this equation we can determine these 2 parameters. Okay, so likewise the pharmacokinetic behavior of the drugs which are administered by IV infusion can be determined, can be carried out with the help of this model. Okay, so this model particularly represents those drugs which are administered in the form of IV infusion. The advantages of these are the drugs which are having very longer half-life. In that case, drugs can be administered by IV infusion, but loading dose is required, and electrolytes, nutrients can be administered simultaneously by same infusion line. Okay, so these are the advantages of IV infusion, and the model is mainly represented in this way. R0 indicates 0 order infusion rate, Ke represents elimination rate constant. So what is important to remember is that you will have to remember only this equation. I have already discussed that there is no need to derive this equation. Into the reference book, you will see this equation is derived, but derivation of this equation is not important for us. What is important for us is that we will have to remember the equation during solving the examination paper. Okay, only remember these equations. All the mathematical equations are there for all the models. Okay, and from this equation we can determine various useful pharmacokinetic parameters. Okay, so in exam point of view, you will have to remember these equations. But when you are directly applying this knowledge at R&D level, when you will work into the R&D, you will have to apply this kind of knowledge. So in that case, again, it is very easier one, because the softwares are already available. From the softwares into the software, there are mathematical equations already given. Only we have to put up the values. We will directly get the values of all these pharmacokinetic parameters. Okay, thank you.